What's up, guys? I'm back once again today with UFC Bantamweight Brady Bam Bam Hiestand. Brady, how are you, man?
Good, good. Just living the dream over here. How are you, brother?
That's awesome, bro. I'm doing great as well. And obviously, we know you've got a big upcoming fight on October 19th against Jake Hadley at UFC Vegas 99. Just give me your thoughts on that matchup and uh, how are you feeling, man?
Yeah, I love the matchup. I think it's gonna be fun. I think I'm excited because this guy's willing to grapple a little bit more. I feel like a lot of my other guys have been more like me grappling them and them trying to get away. So it's gonna be fun having someone that will exchange. Obviously, I'm ready to bang on the feet, throw hands, all that stuff. So I'm not. It's gonna be a fight that goes everywhere, just like always. I feel like all my fights always end up on the ground, on the feet, no matter what. So I think it's gonna be another banger.
Oh, that's awesome to hear, man. And we know you're telling the truth because all your fights have been bangers. Since the Ultimate Fighter, you've just been in consistent bangers, and I know it's gonna be another one. And obviously, this is you've won 3 fights in a row, and this is gonna be your seventh straight fight in the UFC Apex. I just want to know what you think of the Apex as an arena alone, because obviously your fight on the Ultimate Fighter, two of them were on the Apex. Your UFC debut, your Ultimate Fighter final, your last 2 fights. I mean, what has the experience in the Apex been like for you?
Yeah, I love the Apex. It's kind of like I've never fought anywhere more than I fought the Apex now. Like you said, it's the seventh fight, so I'm used to it there. It's like comfortable. I think after this one, I'm gonna be excited to get out there in front of a crowd and actually be able to like be in like a big arena. But I was hoping that for this one, but I think after this fight, I'll be 4-0. Gonna call for a top 15 spot and then hopefully get a crowd. And if not,
And
I'm okay with that. I'll take like a co-main or main event of the Apex. I'll take that too.
Uh, honestly, I've seen something recently. It's kind of like a rumor where apparently they're not going to be going to the Apex for a little while after this because I think they're going to end it off at UFC Vegas 100, which is scheduled for November 9th. So I think the card you're fighting on is the second last Apex show for a while, which is
Fuck yeah.
crazy because they've been going for so long and they're just gonna stop now. But again, I love it when the fights with arena, and I really hope your next fight is in front of an arena. And
Yeah, me too.
uh, one question from my buddy Danger was, what is like the difference of training for this fight against Jake Hadley, who's a southpaw on the feet, a pretty boxing heavy southpaw, compared to like your other fights because he kind of brings a different style to the table. Jake Hadley, mainly a boxer and he's a southpaw. I mean, what do you think of this fight stylistically compared to the other fights? Like, let's say your last fight with Armfield.
Yeah, well, definitely, like you said, the southpaw thing is something I really got to watch out for. So I've been bringing in a lot of partners, switching up a few things because obviously you can't fight a southpaw the same way you fight orthodox. So I've been working on that, focus on the boxing with that, and then also he throws up some submissions from his back. He's not opposed to like throwing up a triangle or an armbar or guillotine or something like that. So I've been making sure that I'm training that stuff too. Just make sure I'm checking all the boxes. I think I'm a better grappler all around. I think I can beat him on the feet also. But these guys are the best in the world for a reason. They're in the UFC, so I got to make sure I'm ready for all of it.
And you got all the capabilities to go out there and put on a show against a guy like him. I think your style is really good against his. I think you'll finish this guy uh, in the first or the second round. And obviously, you're training out of one of the best gyms in the world in Spokane, Washington. I just want to ask, how was training in Spokane been, man, with all the teammates you have and the amazing world class fighters? I mean, how's it been down there?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I got some up and coming guys. I got like Alvin Welch and then Caden Shaw, my boy Ashton, Mike Kiesa's in there. We're about to go here in the next half an hour. So training's firing on all cylinders. Been hitting up my jiu-jitsu gyms, Newborn, Cascal, and then Redemption with my boy Ryan Mobile. So I feel like I'm getting a lot of good training. I've been going over to Seattle quite a bit. There's some good gyms over there. Obviously, Chase Hooper's gym is over there with Jeff Hoagland.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I got all the partners I need up here, especially for the Southpaw look. I like going to Vegas outside of camp to test myself, see myself against these guys, but Southpaw look it's keeping me home, which I'm not mad about.
Yeah, and you're so early into your career, man. You're only 25 years old. You've only been in the UFC for a couple of years now, and Right now, you're probably one of the biggest prospects at 135. You're up and coming. You're so young. You were on tough. I just want to ask you. There's a bunch. Obviously, there's a bunch of other guys that are on the come up at bantamweight. Who do you think you're gonna be at the top of the ladder with when you reach there? I mean, obviously, we got guys like Vinicius Oliveira, Peyton Talbot, the Bashar brothers. I mean, what do you think? Who do you think you're gonna be fighting for a top contender spot one day?
Dude, I like to think I know what's gonna happen next, and like I always like game plan for who I think they're gonna give me, but I've been wrong every single time. So I literally have no fucking clue. I feel like I want these fights, or I think I'm gonna get these fights, and it just makes sense in my own head, but it doesn't ever happen that way. Literally, almost every guy I fought, I almost didn't really even know anything about. Like when it gets announced,
Oh,
like when the first one, Benat Denat, didn't really know anything about him. Then they brought him to me. I'm like, oh, I forgot this dude fought in the UFC. Next guy, or then it was Fernie. Didn't even know who
Fernie,
Fernie
yeah.
was. And then Denat, and then who's Garrett? Garrett. The only reason I knew Garrett is because I met him in the sauna before I talked to my manager about fighting him. And heard in an interview that he said my name or something like that. And then now, Jake Hadley, he's a 25er. I saw he fought Mitch Raposo, so that's the only way I knew him. But I never anticipated I'd fight him because he's at 25. So it's just funny. I like to say I think I know who I'd fight next. No clue, no idea.
That's funny that you didn't know most of those guys, and even this guy Jake Hadley. Honestly, he just made his 135 debut, and that was also on short notice. I think he was on the
Mm-hmm.
verge of getting cut. Actually, he lost back to back right before he beat Karan Logran at UFC 304. I wanted to hear your thoughts on what you thought of that fight with Karan Logran. I mean, for me, I think it was a great performance from Hadley, but uh, I just think Logran he didn't come up with a great game plan, and that was also Hadley on short notice in a new weight class. So I really think you're gonna do better than the other guy did. So I just want to know what you think of Jake Hadley's performance in that fight, and also his recent performances at 125 against Charles Johnson and the other guy. I can't remember who we fought for that, but
I can't remember who he fought, but I think he looked really good in that fight. I think he did a really good job against what's his name, Con
uh, Cowland Logran something.
Calvin. So I think he did everything he was supposed to. I think it was a little bit of a boring. It was a little bit of a snooze fest. There wasn't a whole lot of
Yeah.
action. I think it was more
Mm-hmm.
Jake just moving around and then hitting him and then moving, and the other guy just fucking trudging at him. In my opinion,
Yeah.
I don't think the other guy looked good at all. I don't think he had any
Yeah.
setups. I think he would just throw wild shots, and his takedowns were from like 10 feet away. So I wasn't super impressed with how the fight went out, but I was impressed that he took it on short notice and still won. Especially because that guy's known
Mhm.
for having good cardio, I think, and he had good takedown defense. But I feel like that was like it's not a really good fight to gauge anything off of because I think the other dude looked like he sucked. So I think now he's actually going to fight someone that's good at 35, and I think he's going to be able. It's going to be way different. And I
Mhm.
don't know if the weight cut got to him or what was the deal with him at 25, but he didn't look that good against grapplers. He looked like he was getting rode out. Maybe just his cardio wasn't there. I don't know. I'm anticipating he's going to be 10 times better than the guy the way he fought at 25. I feel like he has to be, or it's just not good. It's going to be a blowout. But I just assumed that he had maybe bad weight cuts. He wasn't on, maybe something that's personal. I'm just anticipating the best version of Jake coming out October 19th.
Oh, 100%. And I think you're gonna get it, and I think you're gonna thrive like you always do. And speaking of thriving, obviously in your last three fights, I think you've been dropped at least once each time, and you just came back and you beat the shit out of them. What goes through your mind during these moments? I mean, against Garcia, you got dropped really early. Against Dana, you got dropped at the start of the second round, and you just beat him up for the rest of the round. And against Armfield, you rallied. You had a really nice suplex literally right after you got a drop. I mean, what goes through your mind when this happens?
There's not a whole lot. It's just reaction. It's like, oh, I got popped. What's the next step? I don't really dwell on what has happened. I just try to work on what's best for me moving forward. And so I feel like I'm almost unkillable because you might hurt me, but I'm just gonna keep coming forward and getting back up. And I think I showed in all my fights. Obviously, not the best for me. I'm my goal is this fight not get hit once, go out there, have a clean performance, dominant performance, and take no damage. And so that's my plan. Hopefully, get a quick turnaround by the beginning of next year, and then just keep the ball rolling. But Yeah, I think it just shows my heart. I feel like my skills improving all the time, but it's kind of a good crutch to always know that no matter what, if I have to make it a dogfight, I will.
And speaking of a quick turnaround, this would be your fourth win in a row. Say you got to finish, it's your third finish in a row. I mean, you gotta get a step up, man. These guys gotta give you someone that that you know the name of, that you've been watching since probably before in the UFC. I would love for you to get an opportunity against a guy like that. And let's say you do finish Jake Hadley on October 19th. What is your ideal scenario? Do you have anyone in mind that you would want to fight next? I mean, you could be the first person on this show to make a call out of someone.
I do have a few people in mind, but I'm going to keep it on the hush hush until I hop on the mic. Definitely top 15. So I'm coming for that spot. I'm coming to take a number next to my name. I don't think there's a lot of people in the bantamweight division with a soon to be 4-fight win streak, 3 finishes in a row, 2 bonuses, because I do count the bonus from the Ricky Tercios fight. Um, so, yeah, I don't think there's a lot of people with that kind of resume asking for a top 15 spot. So I think that's where I'll shoot for.
And obviously, the public know a lot less than what you know. Obviously, it's about your own fighting career. But is there any other matchups that failed to come together? Because we saw you had 2 canceled fights last year, or no, one was this year with Rinya Nakamura and Damon Lecture. Have there been any other fights that you were offered, and then let's say the other guy said no? Because uh, I feel like that's the case with so many fighters. They have another fight they told to them, and then they have like a completely other fight for a completely other date the next day. So has anything like that happened to you so far, like
I'm
recently?
trying to think. Nothing recently. I say yes to every fight that comes through. I don't ever turn a fight down. So if it's coming through, I'm saying yes. I'm at the top of my head as of recently. I haven't heard of any fights sent my way that haven't been approved. But like I said, I never turn a fight down. The only time it's happened is when I've got injured or had MRSA or something like that. But yeah, I never turn a fight down.
And yeah, we know that you never try to fight down, man. You always show up to fight. And speaking of the top 15 that you obviously want to fight for like immediately, we saw a bantamweight title fight recently against Merab Dvalishvili and Sean O'Malley. I know you were team Merab for that one. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that and who you think Merab should defend against first.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think obviously, everyone knew how it was going to go. It's either Marab mauls him for 5 rounds, or maybe gets to finish late, or O'Malley knocks him out. And so O'Malley didn't knock him out, so he got mauled for 5 rounds. I think that was pretty
Mm-hmm.
straightforward. I think dominant Marab looked like he did really well out there. He had a dominant performance. He looked good everywhere, even on the feet, which was pretty cool to see. Wasn't surprised. I think everyone's like, oh, Marab's got hit, or O'Malley has some crazy hands, but Marab's style is just so interesting in the fact that he never
Oh
stops
yeah.
moving. He's always coming forward, and he's just always mixing it up. And so I think that messes with a lot of strikers.
And obviously, you're 10 fights into your pro MMA career. That's not including your 2 exhibition on The Ultimate Fighter with Josh Reddinghouse and Vincent Murdoch. Uh, I just want to know what has been the standout fight of your career so far? I mean, if we want to include the exhibitions, you're 10-2 at this point of your career, or 9-2. What fight stands out to you the most? Like, which one meant the most for you?
I think honestly, it was that first fight on Tough against Josh Reddinghouse. Coming off the regional scene, I just didn't know how good I actually was. I was always obviously beating all these guys on the regional scene, and coming into the Ultimate Fighter, I was the youngest guy. I was a huge underdog and stuff like that. And to fight a guy like Josh, who had fought Marlon Moraes decision and fought PFL, and I've known him around the area for being a savage. Um, I think that was a big eye opener for me that everyone's human and I can beat all these dudes. And so it gave me a lot of confidence. And it all started, I think, with that Josh fight.
And right before I let you go, I actually wanted to play a little game with you. I want to go down the UFC rankings with you, and I want to know your thoughts on every fighter inside that top 15. I want to like a short answer. It doesn't have, it could be one word, it could be 2 words, whatever you think of this fighter. So I'll start from number 15. Uh, what do you think of number 15 ranked bantamweight Montel Jackson?
Tough.
Number 14 ranked Dominic Cruz.
Legend.
Number 13 ranked Jonathan Martinez.
Leg kicker.
Number 12 ranked Kyler Phillips.
Uh, what would that be? Spazzy.
Number 11 ranked Mario Batista.
Big.
Number 10 ranked Jose Aldo.
Legend.
Number 9 ranked Rob Font.
Good boxing.
Hmm. Number 8 ranked Song Yadong.
Um, Power puncher.
Number 7 ranked Cheeto Vera.
Punching bag. He's really
Number
good getting
6.
hit.
He is. We saw that on display in his last 2 fights. Number 6 ranked Henry Cejudo.
Retired.
I think so too. I think he should go to flyweight, man. Number 5
Honestly.
ranked Davison Figueiredo.
Flyweight.
Flyweight, yeah. Just like Jake Hadley. Number 4 ranked
Exactly.
Corey Sandhagen.
Slick.
Very slick. Number 3 ranked Piotr Jan.
Angry little guy.
Sorry, angry little what? Something dropped, I think.
Oh, angry little guy.
What a description for Piotr Jan. Number 2, Umar Nurmagomedov.
Dagestanian.
Dagestanian, what a perfect one. Number 1 ranked Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Showman.
Yeah, okay. And of course, the champion, Merab Dvalishvili.
Machine.
And let's add a bonus one. Unranked Jake Hadley.
That's a good one. Part of my highlight reel.
Let's go, bro. I love to hear that. Good luck on October 19th against Jake Hadley, man. We will all be watching. You're on the main card, I believe, once again, and we're so excited to see you put on a show. It was great to have you on my YouTube channel, man. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, brother. It was good to finally talk with you.
It was great to talk to you, man. Have a great rest of your day and have fun at training.
Yeah, you too, brother. Thank you.